Hi guys, Mrs. H here. Today we're going to look at the metric system and how to convert from one unit of measurement to another using the ladder method. So let's go ahead and look at what kind of units we're looking at when we're talking about the metric system or the SI units. So we would be looking at for length, meters, centimeters, kilometers, millimeters. If we're looking at density, it would be something like grams per milliliter or grams per centimeter cubed, which combines length and mass. And mass uses grams, kilograms, or milligrams. Weight would be measured in newtons. Volume would be liters, meters, centimeters cubed, millimeters cubed. And then temperature would be degrees Celsius or Kelvin. And then speed and velocity would be meters per second or kilometers per hour. In the physical science term that we are in currently, we will be looking at length, mass, weight, and speed and velocity. When we look at our next term, we would be looking at volume and density. So let's go ahead and look at the metric system conversion using the ladder method. Okay, so the first thing that we need to know is what the sequence or order of the units for the metric system are. So in looking, our largest unit that we will be dealing with is kilo, which is 1,000 units. There are other units larger than kilo, like giga and mega, but we're going to be starting with kilo. So kilo is 1,000 units, and then hecto is 100 units. Deca is 10 units. Our base unit would be grams or meters or liters. And then the smaller units would be deci. Now, not to be confused with deca, but deci is 1/10. Centi is 1/100th. And then milli is 1,000th. And just as with kilo, that there are larger units than kilo, there are smaller units than milli, but we will be going from kilo to milli. And so everything that's considered a larger unit, these are these larger units. What that means is for every 1 kilo, there would be 1,000 meters. And for every one milli, there would be 1,000th of a meter, or the base unit. And so those units are really describing the size of them compared to the base unit. And so what are the rules for converting one metric unit to another metric unit? So the first thing you need to do is determine your starting point. Next, you count the number of jumps to your ending point. And your ending point and your starting point. The starting point is the label that you have, the label that is currently on the number, and the ending point is what you want to change it to. So then the third step is to move the decimal the same number of jumps and in the same direction. So let's look at an example here. So if I have 4 kilometers and I want to go to meter, so the first thing I need to do is determine my starting point. So my starting point is kilometers. My ending point is meters. So then how many jumps is that going to take? So let's look at how many jumps that would be. Kilo to hecto would be 1. Hecto to deca would be 2. And deca to base, which is meter, would be 3. So I'd move 3 decimal places to the right. So if my decimal place is after the 4, I would need to move 1, 2, 3 places. So my answer would be 4,000 meters. So I want you to take a minute and practice a couple of these problems and see how you do converting in these problems. So how'd you do? So remember, in converting, we're doing 4 steps. So in this first one, I need to determine what my starting is, and that is milligram. So that's down here, right here. And I want to convert to my base, which is right here. So notice I am moving to the left. And how many jumps? I go 1, 2, 3. And so if my decimal place is right here after this last 0, I'd move 1, 2, 3. So I would have 1 gram. So our next one is 1 liter to 1,000 milliliters. So again, where am I starting? My base unit. Where am I going? My milliliters. How many times do I jump? 1, 2, 3. So if my decimal is after the 1, so I'd have to move it 1, 2, 3. So that would be 1,000 milligrams. If I'm starting with 160 centimeters going to millimeters, so I'm starting at centi, I'm jumping 1 again to the right. So if my decimal place is right here after the 0, so I need to move the decimal place once to the right. So my answer would be 1,600. From kilometers to meters, again, I'm starting at kilometers, moving 1, 2, 3, 3 jumps to the right. So if my decimal place is right here after the 4, I need to jump 1, 2, 3. And so I end up with 14,000 meters. So on grams to kilograms, so I'm starting at my base unit and I'm going to jump 1, 2, 3 to the left. So if my decimal point is after the 9 and I'm going to move it to the left, 1, 2, 3, I end up with 0.109 kilograms. And our last one, I'm starting at meters, going to kilometers. So I'm here going 1, 2, 3, 3 to the left. And so if my decimal place is here after the 0, I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 to the left. So I end up with 0.250 kilometers. So then to answer these questions down here, how can I compare centimeters and meters? I can't. I have to convert one of these to either the centimeter to meter or meter to centimeter, and you can do either way you choose. I'm going to change meter to centimeter because in my head that's just easier. So here's my meter, and I'm going to jump 1, 2. So I'm going to move it 2 to the right. And so if this is 6, this becomes 600 centimeters, and 600 centimeters is a bigger number than 56 centimeters. So here on the bottom, I have 7 grams and 698 milligrams. So I'm going to convert my grams to milligrams. And so here's my grams, 1, 2, 3. So this becomes 7,000 grams, and 7,000 grams is bigger than 698 milligrams. So I hope this tutorial in how to convert the metric numbers from one unit to another using the ladder method is helpful. If you have any questions, please make sure you're reaching out to me. Bye guys, have a good day.